You don't just tell stories, you relive them. Whenever you're giving a speech or a presentation and you're telling a story, it's not something that's just going to be made up just out of something you've crafted, like fiction. The best way to convey a message is to relive an actual story or an event that happened in your life. You've probably heard dynamic speakers on podcasts and on interviews, and they're always telling these elaborate stories, and it just really pulls you in. You lean in to really hear what's going to happen. And the reason they're so captivating is because they're reliving actual moments in their life. They're not making anything up. They are actually just using these real world events and reliving them in their head and telling them every time they get a chance to. So, what you're going to want to do is recount and make somewhat of a library of various interesting and impactful events and stories that have happened in your life. So, when you're creating a speech or a presentation, you'll be able to pull from these different stories and relive them. Now, when I say relive them, you actually have to relive them. And I'll give you an example. I recently gave a presentation on improving customer service. And I actually retold and relived a very interesting experience that I had where I was a support tech manager and a call was escalated to me. This customer that I had to talk to was irate. I mean, it was like their anger was like palpable. I could hear them so angry. It was almost like they were going to jump through the phone and start strangling me. They were that upset. And I retold that anger and those emotions that not only the person conveyed, but that I felt. I kind of started shivering because I didn't know what was going to happen. I almost thought that person was right in front of me. And that is the level of retelling that you have to do. You've got to make the audience feel that they're right there with you. They're right there on the other end of that line, hearing that irate customer. And so that's one of the things that is very important when telling stories. You don't tell stories, you relive them.